Italy, and I'm really honored to be here representing my radio station, my country. It's a real pleasure to meet colleagues from all over Serbia, which is a country that I love because I'm also a big basketball fan, so I really love your basketball players. I'm really jealous of yours.
Dobar dan svima, veliko mi je zadovoljstvo i čast što sam ovdje. Ja sam Filippo Solibello, voditelj iz Italije i veliko mi je zadovoljstvo što sam danas ovdje u Srbiji da predstavim kako mi radimo i da upoznam kolege iz čitave Srbije i da kažem se prvo sretno što sam ovdje zato što sam veliki fan košarke i zavidim vam na vašim košarkašima.
Okay, and I will try to tell you something about my radio show, which is a morning show on the Italian Radio 2, the second channel of the Italian National Public Radio. It's aired in the morning from 6 to 7:30 a.m., so it's 1 hour and a half length. And the name of the show is Caterpillar AM.
Ja ću vam sad ispričati nešto o jutarnjem programu koji ja radim na Rai 2 programu, to je nacionalni radio, jutarnji program je u pitanju, traje sat i po vremena od 6 do pola 8 i zove se Caterpillar
AM.
AM.
Yes, because it's in the morning. So, what we try to do in the morning is to wake up everybody one to one, because the relationship in the morning is very intimate with your listeners. Usually they're alone, maybe in the bed, maybe they're in the bathroom, they're taking a shower, they're washing their face, they're doing breakfast. So it's a very delicate moment of the day. And we try to give them a little bit of sweet sugar, which is the heart, and a little bit of coffee, which is the energy.
Mi pokušavamo da probudimo naše slušalce svako jutro jedan na jedan, jer je jutro vreme kada su oni uglavnom sami ili su u krevetu i bude se, ili se spremaju za posao, umivaju se, tuširaju se, doručkuju se, zato je delikatan trenutak dana u kome se svi polako spremaju i mi se trudimo da ih svako pojedinačno probudimo i poželimo dobro jutro i da im damo nešto malo slatko, to je ovo srce u sredini i malo energije za ostatak dana, to je ova kafa.
And our show is in the infotainment genre. That means that we give them a little bit of news, of information, and a little bit of entertainment. This is very important because I think that nowadays you cannot give only news in a serious way to people who also expect that you entertain them. So we try to do both, a little bit of news and a little bit of music, of entertainment, in a different way, not serious, not classic, but a little bit alternative.
Naš program je i informativan i zabavan, što znači da dajemo informacije i vesti jednim delom, ali i neke zabavne informacije i zato ne možemo da serviramo samo informacije i vesti na ozbiljan, klasičan način, jer ljudi očekuju i zabavu, tako da i vesti koje mi prenosimo i donosimo to radimo na drugačiji način i ne tako formalno i striktno i ozbiljno kao.
And the content is at the center of our show. The content is the news. So we try first to tell the news and then to talk about it. In the first half hour of the show, from 6 to 6:30, we read the newspapers. So it's not a classic press review, it's something different, something more. We're sitting here in our dinner room and we're reading the newspaper. It's something like that. Something like, okay, we're reading the newspaper with friends. Me, my co-host, and the other co-host. So we talk about the news. We read the newspapers, and we talk about it.
U principu, znači, mi ono što radimo u prvih pola sata jeste da čitamo novine, ono što je suština našeg programa jeste sadržaj, naravno. U prvih pola sata mi čitamo novine, a posle razgovaramo o tome, znači, moj drugi voditelj novine čitate i komentarišete, znači nije zvanično i ozbiljno, nego je onako opuštenije i prijateljski pristup celom temi.
And why is it so important to us to give the news, to read the newspapers? Because we think that an informed listener is a better citizen, and the better citizens make a better community.
A zašto nam je važno da recimo čitamo to? Zato što smatramo da je važno da informišemo slušalce, jer ukoliko je nešto informisano, ono čini bolje društvo i samim tim za celokupno društvo je bolja situacija kada je njegovo stanovništvo informisano i obavešteno o svemu što se dešava.
And we want them to be informed because we also want them to talk about the things that happens nationwide or worldwide. So before we read the newspapers, then we ask our listeners in the second half of the show to call us on the phone and debate and discuss the top issues of the day.
Zašto mi to radimo? Ja smatramo da je važno da i naši slušalci međusobno razgovaraju, osim toga što su da budu obavešteni i da razgovaraju o tome šta se dešava i upravo zato posle tog dela u kojem čitamo novine, sledećih pola sata mi ih pozivamo da se oni jave i da prodiskutuju u programu o tome o čemu smo pričali, šta smo pročitali.
And we think that the engagement of the listeners is very important because we are different from other medias. We are different from social networks. We are different from Facebook, from Twitter, from WhatsApp, from whatever. We don't like this age of hate on the social network, people fighting each other. We love people talking to each other. So that's the reason why we want them to debate with us about the news, about politics, about sports, about social life, but in a polite way.
Mi to volimo da radimo zato što smo mi drugačiji od svih ostalih medija, znači radio se razlikuje i od Facebooka i od Twittera i od svih drugih društvenih mreža i svih drugih medija. Mi nikako ne volimo tu neku mržnju koja se širi po društvenim mrežama i svađe koje se dešavaju. Mi volimo da diskutujemo o tome šta se dešava, ali na pristojan i ljubazan način i da slušalci tako komentarišu dešavanje.
And in this age of hate, we think that radio has an important role in our communities. And I started in a community radio, in a local radio. And I think that local radios or regional radios have an important role in the life of the communities. So, when we continue...
Smatramo da ne volimo to doba mržnje u kojem trenutno živimo i smatramo da je radio vrlo važan u ovom vremenu i kako lokalni radio. Ja sam sve vreme počeo na lokalnom radiju i isto važi i za regionalne radio stanice i smatram da njihova uloga je vrlo važna.
So when we ask our listeners to talk to us, to contact us, we want them to be citizen informed and capable of speaking to each other in a normal way. We love the pluralism of ideas, of positions, of political sides, but we want them not to fight, but to talk to each other. We can have different ideas, but we can talk about them.
I kada pozovemo slušalce da se jave, da prokomentarišu to o čemu pričamo, jako volimo taj pluralizam koji se dešava, tu mogu da budu ljudi različitih shvatanja, različitih viđenja situacije, različitih političkih opredeljenja, ali mi želimo da čujemo sva njihova mišljenja i želimo da ih oni iznesu i da kažu da imaju, ali bez svađanja, znači to je razmena mišljenja i razmena stavova, ali bez svađanja, vređanja i raspravljanja.
And during these years, I started doing radio when I was 20 in 1992. And during all these years, I found out that there was a way to talk to the listeners, and there was a way to engage the listeners, and And there was a way that could bring the information to the listeners better than any other. And this was gamification.
Ja sam radio svoje 20. godine, odnosno 92. godine i do sada sam uspio shvatiti da postoji određeni način na koji može da se razgovara sa slušalcima, na koji oni mogu da se angažuju, da se uključe, da se nekako bliže uključe u to što im govorimo i angažuju i to je ono što ja nazivam gamification, odnosno recimo neko pravljenje igre od cijele situacije.
Yes, and so we use this this approach to talk about important issues or to involve our listeners into our daily activities. And that is important because what's the most important things you start learning in your life? Game.
I to je važno, mislim, to je način na koji mi angažujemo slušalce i da čuju ono što imamo da im kažemo, informacije koje želimo da im prenesemo na drugačiji način i to je nešto, mislim, u principu šta je ono što, to je važno zato što ono što prva stvar koju učimo kao ljudska bića jeste igra.
And the most important thing you start to do when you're a kid is to play and learn how to play. That's one of the skills that you bring with you for the whole life of yours.
To da naučite da se igrate je jedna od prvih veština koju steknete kao dete. Znači da se igrate i različite igre i to je veština koja posle se provlači kroz ceo vaš život.
So I will give you 4 very easy examples of what we did in the years and what was very successful in Italy on the radio. And this was something that put us on the front page of the newspaper. This was something that put us on everybody's talk in the morning.
Sad ću vam dati 4 primjera koje smo mi uradili tokom godine koji su vrlo jednostavne, ali zahvaljujući kojima smo mi stigli na naslovne strane novina i postali glavna tema priča među ljudima.
And of course, because we are in a radio conference and we are radio people, if you like it, you can copy it. And this is how we do it. And one of these ideas, I took it from a Dutch DJ. And so this is how we spread also our news.
Pošto je ovo na radiokonferenciji gdje ste svi radijski ljudi, ukoliko vam se svide ove ideje, možete da ih iskoristite i da ih ukradete. Jedno od njih sam i ja ukrao od kolege iz Holandije, tako da i to je način da razmislimo iskustvo i naučimo nešto novo.
And the first one happened like 11 years ago. We had this show, Caterpillar. It was not in the morning, it was the drive time, the afternoon drive time, in the afternoon from 6 p.m. And it was very, very famous in Italy. And what was really cool was that we had this strong relationship with our listeners. And we had a festival every year in June, at the end of the season, with thousands and thousands of listeners coming to listen to concerts, music, and of course, our radio show.
Prva ideja od pre 11 godina kada smo radili emisiju Caterpillar, ali nije bilo jutarnji program, nego je bilo drive time od 6 sati i bilo je vrlo popularno, vrlo slušano, imali smo jako dobro vezu sa slušalcima i na kraju sezone svaki put bio veliki festival na kojem smo bilo hiljade i hiljade ljudi koji su dolazili da slušaju koncerte, slobodno slušavanje i naravno i našu emisiju.
And so we were kind of popular because our listeners were so close to us. And so we tried to think, okay, but how can we be even more close to our listeners? How can we remain in their life forever? What could be something that links to them in a very special way? Then we thought about it.
Naša emisija je bila tako jako popularna zato što smo imali jako dobru vezu sa našim slušalcima. Međutim, razmišljali smo o tome kako da je učinimo još bolju, kako još više da je vežemo za nas, kako da im postanemo još bitniji u životu i kako da tu vezu učinimo još čvršćom i jačom.
And the answer was, well, what's that thing that locks you forever to another person?
I pitanje koje se postavilo je šta je ona jedna stvar koja vas poveže sa nekom osobom za uvek.
The wedding, of course. So,
Trajanje, naravno.
we told our listeners, okay, if you want, we can do this. Because in Italy, you can celebrate the wedding of other two people, even if you're not a priest or the mayor. You can do the civil wedding with one person. The mayor gives him the permission to marry that couple.
U Italiji je moguće da izvedete ceremoniju venčanja ako niste sveštenik ili službeno lice, znači gradonačelnik može da vam da dozvolu da venčate određeni par.
And a lot of people in Italy does not marry in the church anymore, and the majority of the people marry in the city hall with the civil marriage. So we told our listeners, okay, if you want, me and my co-host will marry 100 couple of people who wants to be married by us.
U Italiji je mali broj ljudi venča u crkvi, uglavnom se sklapaju u građanskim brakovi u opštinama i mi smo im rekli, ok, ako želite, moj kolega i ja ćemo venčati 100 parova koji žele da se venčaju.
And we did it, and they answered. So we had 100 couple of real people coming to us and asking to be married by us. And this was crazy. And you can see there are 200 people doing the wedding, and thousands of guests, of course the guests of the 100 ceremonies.
To je bilo potpuno ludo, ljudi su počeli da dolaze kod nas da traže da ih venčamo i na kraju smo to stvarno i uradili, znači to je bilo sve u svemu 100 parova, odnosno 200 ljudi i nekih hiljade gostiju koji su došli na njihovo venčanje.
And this was really crazy. You can see me with the flag, with the Italian flag.
Možete vidjeti mene sa italijanskom zastavom.
Given by the mayor, of course. And there was a lot of bureaucracy, you can understand, because it takes some time to announce the wedding, and then they have to go through the bureaucracy. It took us like 5 months to arrange this. But at the end, it was like a big news.
To je sve poprilično dugo trajalo, s obzirom da je bilo jako puno birokratije i papirologije koje je trebalo obaviti, tako da nam je trebalo nekih 5 meseci da tu akciju isprovedemo u delo, ali na kraju kada smo uradili, to je stvarno bilo ogromna vest.
And because of the law, we could not make an all-together ceremony. We had to do it one by one. So we started in the morning at 8 in the morning, and we finished at 8 in the afternoon, and we broadcasted everything on the radio. And when I finished, I was like, oh my God. And every marriage was like 4 minutes. So they were prepared, and then they came, and I said, okay, hey guys, how are you? Oh, do you want to marry him? Do you want to marry her? Okay, yeah, I love you. And go there. It was like this.
Pošto je zakon takav kakav je, nismo mogli da napravimo zajedničku ceremoniju venčanja, nego smo morali da venčavamo svaki par ponaosob, tako da je to trajalo od 8 ujutru do 8 uveče, otprilike je bilo 4 minuta za svaki par, tako da im pričam i kažem, ćao, kako ste, hoćete se venčati, ti hoćeš da budeš, ti hoćeš da sažem, hoćete super, čestitam, volim vas, najde zdravo.
And at the end of the day, we gathered all together in that big square. There were like 10,000 people.
I na kraju su se svi okupili na ovom velikom trgu gde je bilo neki 10.000 ljudi. Smo se zborili na momentu da su sve prenosili uživo.
And we made like the wedding parade to go there, with a big parade on the street. And in front there was the band playing, and the band started with the funeral song, which was a joke.
Na kraju smo napravili kao paradu koja je išla do tog trga s tim ljudima. Na početku kolone je bio orkestar koji je svirao i koji je za početak počeo da svira posmrtni marš.
Because there is yes, in Italy is like the wedding is the grave of love.
U Italiji postoji izreka da je venčanje sahrana ljubavi.
And so this was something that really linked us forever with our listeners. Still nowadays, from time to time, I meet people and I don't remember their face, but they come to me and they hug me and they say, "Oh, you married us, do you remember?" I was like, "Oh, yes, kind of. Do you have kids? Are you still together?" And we have the 90, it's incredible because in our population, we have like the 90% of people staying still together, confronting to the 50% of the general population. So, radio makes love stronger.
I dalje se dešava da mi prilaze ljudi na ulici i da me grle i kažu, sećaš ti si nas venčao? Da, dobro, sećam se. Jer imate dece, ste još u braku, tako i ono što je zanimljivo stavka je da je od celokupne te naše te grupe koje smo venčali, 90% njih je još uvek u braku, dok je neki prosek u Italiji 50%, tako da, kao što vidite, radio jače ljubav.
And this is something very different from a classic advertising campaign about your radio station. But this is something very deep that can stay in your community for years and years and years.
Ovo je nešto potpuno drugačije od onog nekog reklamiranja sopstvenog brenda, znači ovo je nešto što ostaje u zajednici godinama posle toga. Znači, ostavlja veliki trag na duže staze i smo se stvarno povezali sa našim slušalcima na taj način.
And most important for the financial manager of your station, it costs nothing.
I ono što je najvažnije za finansijskog direktora vašeg radio stanica, ne košta ništa.
Okay, then, so this was one of the things that made us really popular in the time. Another one, because we talk about contents. So, in 2005, we started with an awareness campaign about climate change, about energy saving. Now everyone talks about Fridays for Future, climate change, climate emergency.
To je jedna stvar koju smo radili. Sa druga stvar koju smo počeli 2005. je bila kampanja podizanja svesti o klimatskim promjenama i potrebi da se čuva energija. Danas svi govore o tome, ali 2005. to nije bilo baš tako.
And in 2005 we started with one simple game. The game was very simple, but the content was very important.
2005. mi smo počeli sa jednom igrom koja je vrlo jednostavna, ali je sadržaj jako bitan.
And the game was like this. We must save energy if we want to save our planet. So what if on one day at 6 p.m. in the afternoon all our listeners should switch off their lights of their house, of their offices, of the places where they work.
Ideja je bila sledeća, pošto je potrebno da sačuvamo energiju da bi sačuvali i našu planetu, šta bi bilo kada bi jednog dana u godini u isto vreme, znači u 6 sati popodne, svi naši slušalci pogasili svetlo u svojim kućama, kancelarijama, gde god da se nalaze, znači na sat vremena da ugasi svetlo.
We call this Mi Lumino di Meno, which is very similar to an Italian poem, which is Mi Lumino di Mezzo. This means I use less light.
Naziv koji smo dali toj igri je sličan nazivu jedne italijanske pesme, a u prevodu bi značilo koristim manje svetlo.
And what happened is that hundreds of thousands of people did it. And we saw the national graphic of the energy consumption doing like this. And that was amazing, because nobody knew about that except our listeners and the people listening to the show. So the energy agency went crazy because they thought there was a big crash somewhere in Italy.
I to je imalo vjerojatno godinu, 100.000 ljudi je to prihvatilo i kada smo pogledali grafikone, tamo se video ogroman pad u potrošnji električne energije u to vreme i pošto niko nije znao za to osim naših slušalaca, svi su elektrodistributeri institucijama bili potpuno šokirani i u panici kako je došlo do nekog velikog pada sistema.
And year after year, we involve the mayor of the big cities of Italy to ask them to switch off the main squares, the main monuments, like the Arena di Verona, the Colosseum, the Duomo di Milano, all the Torre di Pisa, all the famous Italian monuments. At the same time, on the same day, they were switch off.
I mi iz godine u godinu se obraćamo i gradonačelnicima svih gradova sa pozivom da se u to vreme isključi osvetljenje na svim velikim trgovima i spomenicima, znači Koloseum, Torre u Pizi, Arena u Veroni, Duomo u Milanu, znači da se svim kulturno-istorijskim spomenicima i turističkim lokacijama pogasi svetlo na tih sat vremena.
And year after year, all the people grew with the numbers, switching off everything. And so the campaign was 1 month before, on the show, we had phone calls and interviews with people doing great things about innovation and invention about energy saving.
Iz godine u godinu se povećavao broj ljudi koji su to radili, su gasili sve po kući, a kampanja počinje mesec dana ranije i mi uključujemo u program ljude koji imaju inovativna i zanimljiva rješenja o tome kako može da se uštedi energije.
And then, on the day of Millumino di Meno, everyone was gathering together in the school, in the offices, and now it's 15 years since we started, and it involves millions of people all over Italy. People who doesn't know Caterpillar, the radio show, but they know Millumino di Meno. So the campaign grew bigger than the show and bigger than the radio.
Iz godine u godinu sve više i više ljudi se okuplja zajedno u kući ili u kancelarijama da bi pogasili svetla i to je sad već preraslo granice emisije, znači to su i ljudi koji ne znaju ni za radio emisiju, ni za celu tu akciju, ali znaju za ovu akciju i znaju za to, potpuno je preraslo sve našu početnu ideju.
And to tell you the success of it at the beginning, after 3 years, we also switch off the Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Yeah, it's incredible.
3 godine, to znači ovo sad 15 godina se to dešava, a 3 godine, posle 3 godine su čak isključeni osvetljenje na Eiffelovi kuli u Parizu.
And what is important, always for your financial manager, is that the most important energy company in Italy wanted to advertise the campaign. And they want to be the sponsor, the main sponsor of the campaign, putting a lot of money into the radio station.
I opet, informacija je važna za finansijske direktore, glavna distribucija, recimo, tako nazovemo, u Italiji je želela da bude sponsor ove akcije.
So this was a big idea about some very important content. Then we had different things, just for fun, but it's never only for fun.
Sad, ovo je bila jedna velika ideja za važno pitanje, a posle je bilo i drugih nekih stvari koje su više zabave radi, ali nikada nije u pitanju samo zabava.
This is one of the craziest idea I ever heard about, and I stole it from a DJ from Holland named Gian Glen.
Ovo je jedna od najluđih ideja koju sam video i koju sam ukrao od kolege iz Holandije, čije ime ne bih mogla da ponovim.
And I asked his permission to do it on my radio, and he said, yes, of course you can do it.
Pitao sam ga da li mogu da uradim to na svom radiju, i rekao da, naravno.
So with no authority today I tell you, yes, of course you can copy it.
Tako da sad